No, here we got sound. Hello everybody and welcome to this episode of Banter Blitz. It's really just a quickie session to warm up for the marathon, which is gonna start tomorrow at the same time, 6 p.m. Central European Time. Me and Pepe Cuenca and me, I think is the more polite way to say it, will play for 72 hours non-stop, taking turns, so we have some chances to survive and hope to make it through it. It's gonna start on... what day is tomorrow? Thursday? I believe it's Thursday. I'm not very well informed about weekdays normally, but it shall start on Thursday, 6 p.m. and last till Sunday 6 p.m. I'll probably be doing the night shifts from whenever. I'm gonna have to start at probably 6 or 7 p.m. till 5 in the morning, then sleep all day and have Pepe handle the day shift. I'll mainly be speaking English. Pepe will mainly speak Spanish. He's gonna do a bit of English as well. I might switch to German on like a boring Sunday night if I run out of clever things to say in English. And we'll see how it goes. I'm not very excited about it. I'm feeling tired today already. I'm feeling like I'm catching a small cold. I'm feeling like my voice is not gonna be able to last anything close to like 10 hours in a row. So it's gonna be a lot of fun for everybody involved. Being corrected. Pepe Cuenca and I. Whatever. Probably it's just gonna be Pepe Cuenca and I'll sleep through the whole thing. But now that we're done with this overly long introduction, let's play some warm-up games. I have some plans for today's show. We have a new Blindfold feature on the site where you can hide the pieces so you can't see the pieces, which tends to be good training for real chess, so I'll try to play one of those. I have to share all my opinions on Spectre. I went to see the latest James Bond movie a while ago. I think it was last week already, but I have some strong opinions. And that's about it. That's the big concept I came up with for today's show. As I mentioned, I'm in a terrible mood. I hope I'm going to be in a better mood tomorrow. I really don't know. Let's play someone. This is the Chess24 site. Really no reason to show it to you guys yet, because you're all there watching the show. Or so I would hope. And I think I'll try to get the blindfold out of the way quickly, because I'm already tired. If I play more games, it's gonna get impossible to do so. Here we got the board. Now I'm gonna go to the settings button and I'm gonna tell it hide all my pieces. How does this work? Here, settings, hide all pieces. There we go. I didn't pay attention to his first move, which might have been a mistake. But the arrow is still there. He's played d4. Let's go. I won't talk much because I have to focus, the usual. But so far I'm in book. d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop to b4. Let's see what happens. a3, attacking my poor bishop. I have to give it up. And b6, other moves here, c5, castles, whatever. Bishop f4, not very common. I'll be in caveman mode and attack the pawn on c4. But he covered it, which is very unfair. I will try to re-up that threat by going knight c6, knight a5. When this game is done, should I make it through it, which I'm not sure about, we're gonna look at it with the pieces and hopefully we'll all notice what happens. Taveler thinking here, goes knight f3, which is perfectly sensible. And I shall attack the pawn, as I promised. Give me that pawn. He doesn't want to give me that pawn, which is upsetting. Queen a4, what shall I do? I think I'll just castle. Did I castle? That arrow is confusing me. Yeah, I guess I castled. Let's see what Taveler comes up with. I don't know, he could play c5, bishop d3. I was hoping he allows me to go d5, even though he does have knight e5 then. But yeah, let's see what happens. I'm still trying to win that invisible pawn on c4. Knight e5, I was planning to go queen e8. Goes knight e5, he's tough. Now queen e8, I want to exchange the invisible queen from a4 and still take the c4 pawn. Rook takes, and now he can go cd5, but that would leave me with a positional advantage, or so I had hoped. After bishop d3, knight d3, and knight takes d5. Even e d5 is possible to sacrificing c7. I'm not sure which one is better. I'll try to keep it simple. Go knight takes d5 when his double pawns have disappeared, but there is still this weak square on c4, which we can't really see, or, well, we can all just see an empty square. Castles. I could take on c3. Do I want to, though? Nah, not really. What do I want to do? I think I'll just pluck a knight into c4. Have it sit around there. And one day, hopefully, come up with something constructive. Maybe I won't. Maybe Tavler is going to be the one with the constructive stuff. He goes e4. But I hope I'm still keeping track of the position, because I'm planning to take this guy, and I hope he's not going to recapture, because that would be a most unfortunate incident. Takes on c7, but now e4 is hanging, and I believe I can also start with rook c8, just to clarify this bishop's intentions, hoping to get a knight fork in on e2 after whatever rook c1, knight e2 check, but I'm not sure I will. Now he goes back to g3. Now I could take either pawn, actually. I could go knight e2 check and knight takes d4, or knight takes e4, but this pawn strikes me as a little juicier, so I'll grab that one. I pawn up. The position is kind of winning if I manage to keep track of it. I haven't been very fast, but also not too slow. So let's see what Mr. Tavler does. Thinking. I don't like it when they're thinking. Okay, c1, can't I grab pawns? I like grabbing pawns. Let's grab pawns. And back to base. If he retreats, so shall I. Trying to cover that pawn on a7. fb1, relentless. Could go knight d4, or I could go for the move I'm gonna play. Knight to c3, attacking the rook on b1. Still dreaming about some knight fork on e2 one day. Might not happen, who knows? I think I'll just continue in my greedy style. Try to grab another pawn. I have slight doubts, I'll be honest with you guys, if his bishop is on f4 or on g3. If I remember correctly, it did go to... Oh, hang on. It did go to g3. King f1 allows knight d2 check, which, yeah, too good to pass up, I guess. Give me that. I hope there was a square. It was certainly a square. I hope there was a piece there as well. Let's take this guy. Should be a check, according to my very deep calculations. And let's give another check. Not sure if I should take a gamble on that bishop being on g3 and take it next move. No real need to do so. Let's first attack the knight on d3, pin it. King e2. Let's attack it again. Drifting a little bit. I'm obviously winning, but I am slightly drifting. Feeling that should be quick mate, but I can't really spot it. Let's give it a check. Check. King d1. Let's give another check. Yes, rook d7, but he resigns. Beautiful. Let's bring the pieces back and take a look at this highly instructive game. Yeah, it was kind of a normal game actually. Except for that at some point I started doubting. I was 90% sure the bishop went to g3 and not f4, but not 100%. So yeah, bishop f4 is not a good move. You should probably go for e3, bishop d3 or f3, trying to get it e4 in. And here I have the standard plan of attacking this pawn. Simplifications favor black even when the c-pawn disappears, as it did in this game, because as I said, these weaknesses do remain, and I managed to cash in here quite quickly. Yeah, it was mainly a lot of taking stuff. Not that exciting, but I won, so I'll brag about that. I didn't want to take a chance on knight takes g3, because I was only 90% sure his bishop went to g3 and not to f4, but I didn't have to, because yeah, here a lot of material losses are inevitable. Even rook d7 takes, followed by knight rook d3 check and rook takes d7 is not really worth playing on. So sorry about that, Traveler. And now for some games where we can see the pieces, because I'm an old man. Whom do we play? Let's play Albert. I never played Albert. Such a normal name, and I've never played him. Might be the King of Spain. Oh no, that's not Albert, right? I have a new king. Probably never was a guy called Albert. So I'm not sure why Albert makes me think of King of Spain. Yeah, chess is easier if you can actually see the pieces. And yeah, if you guys want to play Blindfold, you can do the same thing I just did. You can just disable the pieces in the settings, which doesn't really give you a competitive advantage, but it's good training, because chess really is, even normal chess really is playing Blindfold. You gotta calculate variations, keep in mind where the pieces went, and then evaluate the resulting positions. So I do think it is a very decent training tool, and I recommend doing it. You can play unrated or play against computers. I play the computers a lot when I was trying out this Blindfold mode. Crushed Claudia Blindfold, so I was very confident. And here we can see the pieces against Albert. It's a line I play a lot, this 4 queen c2. I've been talking about it in one of the opening clinics. I think it's a decent way to avoid all kinds of trickery. Here white is a choice. e3 is a move I've played, followed by bishop d3. Knight bd2 is also a move, keeping options open. If you want to go e3 or e4, black is going to be fighting to get in c5, and white shall try to keep him busy before that happens. I'll go e4. Normally I play e3 in these types of positions, but gotta mix it up sometimes, not to get too bored. That's not true. If I know I'm gonna win, I'm gonna do the most boring thing every time, but I never know that I am gonna win, which makes it that much harder. Queen b6, good move. Still planning to go c5. I'll go a4, another pretty standard measure, just to make c5 a little harder to get in. And if he goes b4, my knight could jump into c4. Well, if he goes a6, let's say I go bishop d3, c5 takes, then there's some weaknesses on the queen side, so it's not that obvious c5 is a good move here. At least to me it isn't. GB2284 asking which opening clinic I talked about this. I think it was the latest one, number 9. It was more or less recently. I believe it was number 9. And yeah, c5. All of this is very thematic, is on the board. Now I would have to calculate, or do what I normally do, just make a random move and see what happens. Bishop f6 looks interesting. I could also castle, and he would probably go c4. When I could, if I was a braver man, I could go bishop takes c4 with probably some compensation for the piece. But I won't. I might go b3. Oh no, that would blunder a piece. Probably not going to do that either. I don't know what I'm going to do. Rook a1? Maybe rook a1. Then if the bishop moves, bishop e2 or something. Or if the bishop moves, if I picked up some confidence in the 10 seconds in between, I might then go for bishop takes c4. Still doubt it though. Does go c4 as expected. Man, I am tired. How am I going to get in shape? In less than 24 hours to survive this marathon. I don't know. Like, sleeping is not it. You can't sleep in advance, which is very unfair. Else life would be a lot easier. If you could just sleep for 24 hours and then you'd be fit for 72 hours, that would help a lot, but I don't think it works like that. Yeah, the position, I don't know. If Black manages to complete his development, he should be fine. I should try to bother him. Before that happens, I don't know, play b3 or do something. Bishop e3, d5. I have some options. d5 takes e5 could be interesting. Then knight e4, yeah, doesn't really seem to lead anywhere. So many options, so little time. Knight e5 could also be a move. Is this any good? Looks a little suspect. I'll do it just to see what happens. I'm a little worried that I missed something. Knight e5, de, knight g4. I had some plan against that, which by now I've forgotten. Probably was the not very convincing plan to go knight f3. Yeah, that didn't make sense. Rattled. Any excuses? Nah, bishop f6 doesn't make a lot of sense either. Albert is crushing me. He goes knight d7. I think knight g4 was interesting, as I mentioned. But knight d7 is also a pretty sensible move. And yeah, I still don't like my position. What have I done with my life to some extent, but more with my position? Don't like it one bit. I'll give the e5 pawn, looking for some swindling chances. And I feel I have to open the king, not really the king side, the center, I guess, before he goes whatever, rook a8, and then brings his king into safety and enjoys his queenside majority. But I don't like my position at all. Queen d4 is a good move. Many good moves come to mind. What's going on? Talk to your younger friends is what Boring Chess is saying. First of all, I don't have any friends, younger or older. Secondly, I'm not sure students do this 72-hour thing all that much. I certainly didn't when I was a student. And thirdly, they're younger. So they have all this energy of the youth, all these resources. But honestly, yeah, I don't think there's a big secret that you just do it. If you get tired, you continue to do it, and that's it. Rook b8. I'm not sure how to just do it here. I can't think of anything constructive. Knight a5 doesn't really help. I'm thinking about queen c3, but then b4. I'm also not sure I've made tremendous progress. I'll do it anyway for lack of better ideas. But b4 looks fine to me, and queen g3, which I was planning to do, just king f8. Black is doing very, very well. Albert playing a great game so far. Also not a very helpful move, this rook a6, queen c7. I'm just worse. I haven't played this game well at all. Just a little frustrating. I still get frustrated when I don't play well. Not sure why I'm trying to randomly switch accents. I should stick with the thick German accent. That's how I do it. Queen e3. At least he can't take on e5 that easily. Queen e5 doesn't work because c6 is hanging, and knight e5 I have some play. Queen c5 check, followed by knight d4 or by f4. Something good should happen. But a move like bishop b7, maybe even bishop b5, still looks good. And yeah, Albert hitting all the marks. Goes bishop b7. What can I do? I guess there's not much I can do. Rook a7 looks natural, but then queen takes e5. And I don't see where my next trick is coming from. Maybe I have to eat some humble pie and go rook a4, which looks dumb, but I'm trying to get a hold of that b4 pawn if possible. Looks like I'm gonna win on time, which is a small consolation. Not a big one, but a small one. I do like to win. Queen c3, another very strong move by Albert, who's outplaying me in this game. What can I do about it, except for flagging him? I don't know. Probably nothing you can do about it. Let's go here, which is really a random move saying, I know I'm going to win on time, and you can take here and have an advantage. Congratulations. But will you make it to the time control? The excitement. As you guys probably know, I'm not in the Peter Svidler mode of I just want it to be a beautiful, instructive game, and I don't care about the clock situation. I care a lot. And here f4, has he managed to get tangled up? Bishop b5, fe5, winning a piece. I don't know. Fantastic game by Albert, but not fast enough. Let's play someone else. Let's play someone good, so I get a wake-up call. No offense meant to Albert, who played a great game, or Tavler before that, but someone titled. Let's play Chess Uday 98, one of these young Norwegian international masters. Let's see what he does. He says 2 seconds. I do have 2 seconds, but I don't have 2 minutes, so make it 2 seconds. He has to get his mouse. Wow, big professional. Can't play with a touchpad. Might get flagged. Here we go, 1e4. Let's see what happens. I'll play conservatively. e5 is really the only move I know a lot of stuff about. Sometimes I play c6 or c5, but this has been my main line for many, many years now. And I think it's quite sound. That's why I haven't really looked for another main line. Bishop c6 is a sideline followed by d3. Very solid for white. Black has a couple options here. Me being a creature of habit, I normally try to get in this plan with knight d7, then put a pawn on c5, the other pawn on f6 if I have to, and go something like knight b8 and knight c6. Here there's other lines like bishop d6, I think is sometimes played to stop knight h4 here. But can't have everything. I'm gonna have to allow him to do that. He's blitzing out moves. I'm thinking this is a theoretical line. Can't remember details. Queen d5 or queen d7. I vaguely recall a move like that, trying to put the queen in the center, then go rook d8, and in some lines maybe e4. But I'm not sure it was here. Queen g4 looks very natural. Let's put this rook here. Looks like bishop h6 is not a threat yet. Oh, well, it would carry a threat, but I would be able to parry that. And then my plan is sort of go rook e8, bishop f8, and prepare e4. If everything works out, which it doesn't always have to. Rook e1, yeah, all of this looks sort of familiar. Rook e1 directed against my devious e4 plan. I'll keep quietly preparing it. b3, what's going on here? He probably wants bishop b2, so if I go bishop f8, bishop b2, e4, then there's bishop f6, which is a bit unpleasant. But nothing you can do about it. Do I need a plan B? I don't really have a plan B. That was my only plan. We shall see. The good news is the bishop is not terribly well placed on b2 if I do nothing. Well, I'll probably play king h8 or some move like that, just to stop any bishop f6 trickery. Here we go. And yeah, as I mentioned, Big Chicken asks, is it possible to play Blindfold like that? It absolutely is. Click on that, whatever it's called, the burger menu, click on settings, and there you go. Rook d1, yeah, I don't think I've played the opening optimally, to put it mildly. I'm probably slightly worse, but life continues. Is d4 a threat? Probably not that big a threat. I'm always in doubt in these structures. b5 tends to be a bit of an ugly move positionally, but I'm always in doubt when it's a good idea and when it's a bad idea. Similar with a5, a4 and stuff like that. I'm not sure what he's up to with h4. I'm not overly concerned about h5. Maybe I should be, but that's why I am kind of making waiting moves. I feel it's time to put this knight somewhere else. Maybe to b4 and then d5. And then somewhere. Who knows? I'm more of a tactician. I'm not sure if tactician is the right word, but more of a direct player. I never feel that much at home in these slower maneuvering positions, as you can tell by the move h6, which was probably a terrible move. And yeah, I have a feeling I missed one spot in the opening to play more directly, maybe get an e4 more quickly instead of rook e8 to ease my life a little bit. Now, yeah, I'm slightly worse. Not the end of days, but not that pleasant either. Rook e3 is trying to checkmate me. I don't like getting checkmated at all. Not sure about knight b4. It's provoking c3, which, yeah, I was hoping is weakening, but I'm also wasting quite a bit of time to provoke that. Not sure, but if he goes c3, I'll go back and my knight would finally have some targets after knight c5. It would hit b3 and d3. So it's not all bad, hopefully. If I'm being mated within the next 3-4 moves, I might change my opinion on that topic. Clockwise I'm doing alright, which, as we know, is not my bigger focus really. I am trying to play well in spite of all the nonsense that I am saying during the shows. But it's Blitz, gotta keep the clock in mind. Rook e1, he wants knight c5, d4, does that work? Knight b3, d e5, messy. I could just go, let's say, queen f7 to stop it. And that's what I shall be doing. Does queen g6 bother me? Maybe a little bit, actually. It is a little bothering, if that's a word. So I might have to calculate knight c5, d4, knight b3, de5. Nah, I don't like it. I'll go with plan B, but yeah, queen g6 is annoying, because if I take, then my king will be perpetually trapped on the back rank, which is normally not a good situation. Yeah, he did that. He good. So, what can I do? Knight c5 is the obvious move. Then he's gonna play d4 again, knight b3, de. It does look unpleasant. Being outplayed here, again. Always the same. Don't see anything better though. But yeah, this is no good. Poor king on h8, really feeling the heat. Now knight f7 is threatened, so I have to go here. I don't think anything immediate happens, like even if he takes this pawn, it's not the end of the world, but just this king being trapped on the back rank. It's not pleasant. It's actually kind of unpleasant. Let's think a little bit. Rook e3 looks normal. Could give a couple checks, or I could go rook d2, but then I once again would be in some danger of being checkmated. I don't like being checkmated all that much, so I'll try to do something for my poor king before such things happen. King h3, can I checkmate him now? Nah, not quite. Keep it in mind though, rook h1, king g4, h5, king f3, and I didn't see any particular progress. But yeah, he's playing very well. What can I do? c4, another good move, activating the bishop. Ooh, and I blundered my knight, which is not gonna help my chances. That was pathetic though. I should have seen that coming. Well, seen that coming. I should not have blundered my knight, is what I'm basically saying. No, any swindling chances? Nah, not really. Knight d4. I don't see a lot of trickery left. That tends to happen if you blunder a whole piece. It's normally bad news. Not all that surprisingly either. It's gonna be a long 72 hours, ladies and gentlemen. That's my last trick. I'm threatening mate in 1, which I am slightly afraid will be parried by taking more of my hard-earned pawns indeed. Yeah, not a lot of tricks left. One could resign here with a clear conscience, and if I had a conscience, I probably would. Yeah, g7 might be time to say goodbye. Good game by Chess Uday, and yeah, terrible game by me. Well, terrible game all along, but mainly blundering that knight in 1 move after c4 was a little unnecessary. Because, yeah, it shouldn't be beyond my powers to see that this move not only frees his bishop, but also his rook to take my knight. I'm probably worse here, but knight d2 or whatever, and the game keeps going. I might even be okay, who knows. But yeah, that was unfortunate. Let's try to redeem ourselves by winning a game somehow. I don't know how though. Whom did I never play so far? That's also always an important consideration. Looks like we have some new faces here, which is great to see. I will play boring chess, and I will play against boring chess. There he is, Mr. Boring Chess. What's happening with my precious chess24 rating? I took another hit. I'm never gonna get to 2900. It's very, very sad. We're gonna use a different account for the banter thingy. I created an account called Banterton. I haven't debated it with Pepe yet, if we're gonna go with that one or if we're gonna create a different one. But for now, plan on challenging Mr. Banterton. He's a Grandmaster, and we do need a different account because it's gonna be both me and Pepe playing, and because we want to keep track of whom we already played and the statistics at the end of the session. So yeah, I believe it's gonna be Banterton unless there's a last minute name change. So challenge that guy if you wanna play him in the 72 hours from tomorrow 6 p.m. Central European Time and Sunday 6 p.m. Central European Time. Here against boring chess, it's not that boring. He sacrificed a pawn on c4 in the Catalan, and instead of playing one of the main lines like queen c2 or knight e5 trying to regain that pawn, he's gone knight c3. I've played knight c6, which I'm not 100% sure is the best reaction. But it's a typical plan, go knight c6, rook b8, b5 to get your queenside going. Let's see. Santander asks if we will begin with 1500. I guess we will, yeah. I was thinking about playing the rating up a little bit before, but then we can't keep track of the track record of Mr. Banterton. So yeah, you probably have to be clever about it if you worry very much about your chess24 rating and wait till the rating is being played up. But then again, does it really matter all that much? I don't know. I hope we're gonna get opponents even starting out with a 1500 rating. Knight takes b5, what's going on here? Boring chess. Don't sacrifice pieces. We've seen in my last game that tends to be a bad idea. A piece is a piece. Did get 2 pawns for it, and he's blitzing out the moves as if this was all planned, but at the end of the day, or of this sequence, I'm up a piece for only 1 measly pawn, so this can't have been right, Mr. Boring Chess. Queen c2. Let's activate the knight into the heart of the white position. That makes sense. Whatever. Oh, I should talk about the James Bond movie. That's the main reason I'm doing this session, to give you guys my Spectre review. Now, first of all, it's a good movie. It only got like, whatever, 62% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's too low. I think it's a very competently well done action movie, and I was entertained. Now, having said that, I feel there's a general thing that is a bit wrong with some movies nowadays, and it's especially obvious in the James Bond thing. The trend is, well, it's 2 things. First is you always want things to be darker, grittier, more realistic nowadays. Like whatever, the Batman movies, all the superhero movies have to get very dark and very realistic, very violent, which is fine. It's a trend that started with, yeah, all that stuff. And then you have the other thing that you're sort of out of ideas if you're Hollywood and you want to bring back the stuff that was popular 30 years ago because it already has a brand name and you're not taking a big risk. And it felt like they're trying to combine these two things in the Bond franchise. Like they have Daniel Craig, who's not the most, well, he might have a great sense of humor, but his character is not very funny. He's not light on his feet like Sean Connery was in that role. So he's doing that dark, gritty thing, but then he's doing the ridiculous James Bond things, like let's go into the well-protected fortress of the supervillain in the middle of nowhere, unarmed and alone, and get ourselves tortured and then magically escape. So it felt like a bit of a weird combination. And I think this kind of movie, Bond, because it looks like they're trying to get a bit back to the roots of the Bond franchise with the fortress of the supervillain and known supervillain. Christoph Waltz did a good job, even though I'm slightly bored of Christoph Waltz always being the charming, eloquent guy with a German accent who tends to be evil. I feel it's my corner. No, but he did a good job as the villain. The backstory of the villain made zero sense. I don't really think it has to make any sense, but it was a little. They could have thought for 2 minutes about that, like his motivation and so on. Was a little confusing to me. I'm also wondering, how do you become the head of like the biggest crime organization in the world? Like, do you have to apply or do you start it from scratch? It wasn't quite obvious to me how the process works. By the way, I haven't paid a lot of attention to the process of this chess game. I've been winning for a while, but I probably shouldn't have allowed him to get these 2 passed pawns. So I'll try to grab one of them, but he could prevent that with rook b7, and it's not that obvious how to win this position, frankly. Get the king out of the way, then try to fight against Mr. A-pawn with rook a8. Worst case scenario, I could give my knight back for these 2 passed pawns to have a good rook ending. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. So where was I in my rant about Bond? Yeah, it's an unfortunate combination of trying to bring back the classics, like the references. They're making a lot of half references to like old Bond movies from whenever those were, from the 60s, 70s. But they're trying to make it work with this Daniel Craig spirit of, yeah, Bond is troubled with a tough backstory, whatnot. So I felt it was a slightly uneven mix. It's still, as I said, a very good movie, but I don't like this trend that everything has to be darker, grittier, more realistic, and I feel, yeah, we have the Bourne movies and that kind of stuff for that. I just want James Bond to have cool gadgets and to go to exotic locations and fight against over-the-top supervillains. Which is in the movie, but yeah, as I said, there's not that many gadgets, actually. I don't think there's any really cool gadgets. He just has a... Nah, I shouldn't spoil too much, but give us some more gadgets and decide on a way. It can either be lighthearted and ridiculous story, or it can be dark and realistic. But it's tough to have both. Just like here, you can either stop the pawns or you can checkmate the king. It's tough to have both, but I did get the checkmating in, so I was happy with that one. Still, to finish the Spectre review, sorry boring chess that my review took over that game, it's a movie very much worth seeing. Like, yeah, I didn't like the mix, and I didn't like that they try to throw in a lot of Bond references, but don't fully commit, like this stuff. Wherever he orders a martini, but he's in some weird bar, and they give him a non-alcoholic, wherever it was, some protein shake or something. I don't know. Who needs that? Let James Bond be James Bond. End of rant. It's a good movie. It should be much higher than the 63%. I didn't think it was worse than Skyfall, which has like 90% or something. So that was confusing to me. Let's get some more games out of the way. Let's play Pacero here. I'm just clicking on the names I see in front of me. It looks like I never played Pacero either, from the United Kingdom. I'll try to explain some chess in this one. d4, d5, knight f3 or c4 as a matter of taste, of course. In some lines you don't want your knight on f3. Sometimes you do it if you're afraid of c4, let's say e5 or dc4 or knight c6. One of those lines. I play both. I tend to play 2c4 in that very position. More than knight c3, but I very often end up in the position we had on the board after knight f3, d5, d4. Yeah, this is arguably the biggest position there is after knight c3. He goes bishop b4, the Ragozin, of course many other moves, bishop e7, c6, dc4, and so on and so forth. Bishop b4, the main moves are cd, ed, bishop g5, and the immediate bishop g5. I've played both. I slightly prefer cd, ed, but it's more work. You have to be ready for some very direct lines there. Well, bishop g5, the most popular move here is h6. Knight bd7, of course, also fully playable. There's one trick here which I might try if he goes h6, which is the very primitive bishop takes f6, hoping for knight f6, queen a4 check. Fortunately, it normally doesn't work. Now that he castled, I'm going to go cd5, since the options with h6, g5, c5 lost a little bit of power with his king already on g8, and I would guess this is a good version for me. Black can always play c6 and drop the bishop back to e7, but that's not really in the spirit of the Ragozin. You're trying to get in c5, and here I'm not sure black is in time to reach all the stuff he wanted. Grand Muppet says he just started learning chess last month. Any tips for beginners? I don't know, just play. For me, I always wanted to beat my dad, and I kept playing him, and one day I managed, so I needed to find someone else, and I went to the chess club. Nowadays you don't have to go to the chess club anymore. You can play right here. Play and then, yeah, whatever floats your boat really. My policy to chess training is always, there is no wrong thing as long as you enjoy the game and you try to get information, you read about it, you whatever, analyze your games, replay games, watch video series, do tactics training. It's all good. Just don't blunder your d5 pawn. That's the one thing I am fundamentally opposed to. So no, have fun. M. Martinez asks, how do I challenge Jan? If you're watching the show, I think there's my name below the little window from where I'm talking, and you can click on that. Maybe it's not. It tends to be. Let me check. Oh yeah, it's there. Click on whatever, GM Jan, and then click on challenge. Can't promise I'm gonna get to you, but by all means, challenge me. Today, as I said, it's gonna be a quick session. I'm trying to save my lovely voice and all my deep ideas for the Banter Blitz marathon starting tomorrow, the Banterton, at, yeah, more or less 24 hours. Probably spent most of them sleeping. Maybe I'll get a haircut. Maybe I'll try to get in a little gym session. Not quite sure when, though. What else am I going to do? I'll answer some emails. I'll return some videotape. That's a lie, but that's what Patrick Bateman used to say, and I have no reason to doubt him. Any other plans? Nah, should just be rested for the thingy. Here, yeah, I'm a healthy central pawn up, which tends to be a good thing. If a5, I could consider going b4, ab, whatever, rook a7, and then try to pick that guy up. But probably no need to do anything fancy. I can just go e4, intending to go e5. And my extra pawn and my two bishops should get the job done. But will they? I don't know. Queen e8. That allows me to take the pawn. I like pawns. The intention is very sensible. He's trying to unpin from the h4 d8 diagonal, but it comes at a price. I feel like doing some more pinning. Bishop b5, bishop f5. Let's go here. Problem is he can unpin with queen e6, so that might not have been my greatest pinning idea ever, but How bad can it be? Can't be that bad. So yeah, what else do I have to say? I don't know. You guys see the Bond movie? You enjoyed it? I enjoyed it. Like, in spite of all my ranting, I thought it was a good movie. And yeah, I think we're out of options for stuff to watch, right? Is there anything good running? I'm not really following the Hunger Games. Actually, in fairness, I did see the first two, but then I gave up. I missed Mockingbird. No, it's called Mockingjay, right? Mocking something, part 1, and I don't really feel like catching up. What's going on here? He's trying to checkmate me on the back rank, but it's not quite gonna work. Almost, and it's a good idea, but I can still interfere with my queen. What was I talking about? movies. There's a new Spielberg movie, right? What's it called? Bridge of Lies? Bridge of Spies? Bridge of something. Which got good reviews. I'm not sure how interested I am in Tom Hanks' Cold War movie, but I might have to go see that one. What else we got? Yeah, Star Wars thing is coming out soon. I've never been a big Star Wars guy. Like, I've seen the movies and they're fine, but since I've seen them as a kid, I don't have this romantic idea of Star Wars, which a lot of my contemporaries seem to have. Why am I only a piece up, by the way? I had the feeling I should be up a lot more material. Something has survived. I honestly don't understand. I have a feeling I picked up a lot of stuff. It's a hard knock life. Black Mass with Johnny Depp is a good movie. I don't know. I like gangster movies. That one, I've heard mixed reviews. But yeah, I might give that one a try. I should watch The Intern. Isn't that this Robert De Niro is an intern for Anne Hathaway or something like that? Sounded like a terrible plot. But yeah, I'll consider it. Thanks. Question, what did I think of Aronian getting the invite over Kramnik? I don't know, I think, yeah, both had a worthy case, but it's very simple. Whoever sponsors the event gets to decide who gets to play in it. And it's being sponsored by a group led by an Armenian billionaire, as far as I know. And of course, he wanted his man Aronian, who recently won the Sinkfield Cup. So it's certainly a good choice. I have zero problems with it. Pacero lost on time here. He played quite well. I thought I picked up a lot of material, but I really didn't. However, I did pick up one piece, which tends to be enough, as all the evidence we have from today is stating. Let's play against Fanat 666. I tried to play him the other day, but he wasn't there, and I had to play Infamous Devil instead, if I recall correctly. Let's see if he's here today. I'll play e4 just to make my life even more miserable. d5. One of these moves I have not spent a lot of time looking at. Knight f6. I guess d4 he wants to play something funky like bishop g4, which I have no clue about. What can you do? In this line I also don't really have a clue about. Hang on, I've seen something in my younger years. In this position, c5, and if knight d5, queen b3. He goes knight d7. Now I'm out of book. Could still go queen b3, I would guess. Let's see what happens. Then again, queen b3 is probably the theoretical move, and Fanat would blitz out something. I'll go here. This looks natural enough as well. Threatening bishop f7. Of course he goes e6. I'll castle, and we'll see what happens. Knight c6. That's a slight surprise. Bishop e3 looks a little passive. Maybe I should have gone h3 first, but I want to avoid any bishop f3, knight d4 shenanigans. Takes anyway. Maybe this is all some deep theory which I'm not aware of. It looks strange to me, this, especially this idea. Takes and queen f6 looks very strange to me, I have to admit, but how bad can it be? I could take the ending, should be a bit better for me. Bishop's space advantage. Could also go queen e4 or queen g3. Then he goes queen g6, insisting on the exchange, I would guess. Let's see. This could be a better version after queen g6 if I take or go knight c3. His knight is still on d7. Yeah, I'll go here. Knight f6. Now I could once again change my mind and refuse the exchange of queens. Something like queen f4 or queen f3. And yeah, I'll do that. Because I like having the queens on the board. Now I'm threatening bishop b5 or bishop a6. Not that obvious how Fanat wants to react to that. He's still trying to get those queens off the board, which is fair enough. Actually, I missed queen g4. I only thought about queen h5 for whatever reason. But life continues. What do? I could play aggressively, something like d5 with a small advantage. I'm very slow today. Only by saying I'm very slow today, one doesn't become any faster. Yeah, I feel I've slightly bungled this, because now he's going to be able to take on e3. I'm still a bit better, but not by much, really. Yeah, that was not very competently handled on my part. Still, don't be fooled. Opposite color bishops doesn't mean it's a draw. There's still a lot of play left, but yeah, I feel I could have done much better than that from the position I had initially. What to do? I'm a little torn if I should try to grab more space with e4 here or not. And I should also stop being so incredibly slow. I feel like that is probably the main thing which I should work on in this game. Stop being mind-numbingly slow. Make up your mind, just play something. Even if it's a terrible move like g4. Just do it. Yeah, you could go f4 when I was hoping I can go knight e4, fe, g5. I haven't pondered it all that much yet, but that's probably what I'm going to do. There's a question if I give online training. No, I don't. I don't have much time. One day that might change, but no, not really. I missed bishop e3. See, what do you want to learn from me? I don't even see such stuff. Does this work? I guess it works. Yeah, if I take, I have nothing. But I also can't see another option. Not in great shape today. This is looking very promising for our little marathon session starting tomorrow. Fun, fun, fun. Knight c6 is a good move, which I do think Fanat is going to come up with. He has shown to be very motivated to attack stuff whenever he could, so I have no reason to doubt him here. Yeah, I really have to speed up a little bit. Arguably I'm still... Nah, I don't think I'm better really. My king is too open. looks pretty equal. His knight is good now if he plays a move like g5. Yeah, c6 is fine. I got nothing. But I'm still unwilling to accept the inevitable and go to an equal endgame. Instead, with my bad time, I will continue to push my luck. So I've caught up a little bit on the clock, made zero progress when it comes to the position. Now you can't have everything. Yeah, not enough material left here. Unfortunately, I'm a bit better because I have this pawn on b6 restricting him, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to win, which is very sad because I really like to win. I'll probably find a way to lose. Yeah, not much to do. He's just gonna check me. There's nothing I can do about it. Yup, draw. Not my day. Fanat played a good game though. Gotta give him props. Let's play like 2 more. Short session today, as I said, just warming up. Let's find someone I've never played. Zaka, FIDE master from nowhere. Zaka looks like he's not here. There we have Zaka. Here we go. Scotch. I keep trying to figure out if it's called the Scotch or the Scottish. I've asked people about this. I think they've told me it's the Scotch, but I can never remember. Anyway, this knight c3 transposes to the more boring cousin of the Scotch, the Scotch 4 knights, which really is kind of dull. If after the best move d5 takes, it's just, yeah, it's not very interesting. And another problem is I can never remember a single thing. I don't think you really have to, but it can't hurt either. Let's see what Zaka is up to. Good news is I'm gonna get a lot of blitz practice over the next 3 days, so all this rust and tiredness, well, the tiredness will probably accumulate, but the rust will disappear. c4, I'm guessing all of this has been seen before. Could take on c4, which looks like it roughly equalizes. But let's keep some intrigue alive and go d4, which has its good and its bad sides. It creates a passed pawn, it also kind of blocks my own play in the center of the board. But can't have everything. It's always the same conclusion. Which is sad, because you want to have everything, right? But yeah, looks like a decent position for me here. Where's Mr. Zaka from? From Paraguay. Never been to Paraguay. Haven't been a lot, or at all actually, to Latino America. Should go one day. So many things to do. First I'm going to Los Angeles next week. I've never been to Los Angeles either, so looking forward to that one. I've exchanged the A-pawns, which is probably tiny progress from my side of the board, because my A-pawn might have been a bit of a weakness. But yeah, I'm not gonna pretend that we have tons of excitement here. How do I spice it up? I don't know, man. Let's go here. See if he wants to... Now that's actually asking a little too much of my position. I was gonna say queen c7, bishop g5, knight d7. Then knight h5 or something unpleasant is bound to happen. I think I'll go h6, which is also a little double-edged. Now, if I went queen c7 next move, I would run into bishop takes h6. But I'm not gonna do that, and then h6 might be useful just to stop all kinds of nonsense. Who knows, really? And Martinez asks about the Timberwolves this season. I have to admit I haven't seen many of their games. I heard they had this 34-point lead against Atlanta, then bungled it, and then came back to win the game. But I haven't watched them much. What have I seen? I was watching something last night. See, that's the amount of focus I muster when I watch basketball. I have no idea what game I saw last night. The next morning. What was I watching? Oh, I think I was watching OKC in Washington, right? OKC won that one. Well, yeah. Apologies for not talking about chess, but this game is another exceedingly boring game. Wants to exchange queens, which, yeah. Can't blame him for. Rook d8 would allow bishop g6, which is not really a problem, but would simplify even further. Can't see anything else to do though. Might be a problem, but I'm trying to spice it up a little. If bishop g6, queen e5, rook e5, bishop b3. But yeah, queen f6 is a better move. And now I don't think I have anything more sensible than blundering my queen. Man, I'm not in shape today. Rook e8 check is a trick I would normally spot on a good day. The good news for me is it's not totally winning, because rook e8, queen d6, bishop takes c2 might actually be okay for me. So I'm gonna pretend this is a deep, long-term planned queen sacrifice, which it wasn't, was just a blunder. But the game ain't over yet, surprisingly. Actually, yeah, I'm not even sure I'm worse. Because Mr. d-pawn is still very much alive and kicking. If I go d3, he might go rook takes d3, given the exciting opening he chose. But even there, with two rooks, things can always happen. You never know. Now the task is to somehow coordinate my rooks, attack the b3 pawn or some targets on the king side without giving up my own c-pawn, which is a tall order. Probably impossible. But we shall certainly try. I'm motivated to win this game now. Time to focus. Don't know why I'm so sleepy. Really no reason to be. It's like, I feel like an iPhone that has like 20% battery. But normally they recharge overnight. I want to go rook c8. I don't want him to pin me though. I believe, yeah, this position, if it comes to 3 against 3, is supposed to be a draw. But black has all the chances with the 2 rooks. And there was one game, what was it? Leko Kramnik, Kramnik Leko, one of those, where Kramnik managed to win with the 2 rooks. Wasn't exactly this, but something along those lines. So black can try here, because the advantage 2 rooks have is they can attack something twice, while a queen can only defend it once. But yeah, since the material is so reduced, the winning chances are not huge. A word I should learn how to pronounce one day. Huge. Not easy. Now f2 is under attack, and I will gladly take it. Can I take it? Very paranoid about blundering a rook, but I don't see how. Could have gone rook f6, but never self-pin unless you have to is one of my many golden chess rules. No, it isn't, but why self-pin unless you have to? Now the position is certainly winning with 3 against 2. I don't really have doubts. It's objectively winning. Still, some care has to be taken because these queens are very powerful pieces and you don't want them all up in your grill. Trying to think of a constructive plan. Probably it's not to blunder the f2 rook in one move. Oh man. Great session while I was thinking about my constructive plan. Position might still be a draw. That really was not the intention. It's another one of these days where I'm slightly doubting, do I want to put this video up on YouTube and look like an idiot, or don't I? I think I'll put it up. The good news is I have these 72 hours ahead of me. I have to get used to looking like an idiot, because this is me after having slept and not having talked for 10 hours. So imagine things. Once I didn't have all that luxury. All those luxuries, yeah, my speaking skills also are rapidly going downhill. And Zaka, yeah, lost on time. Sorry, Zaka, very mixed game there. 2 huge blunders on my side in one game, which is not an easy thing to do, but I pulled it off. Last game, I'll play someone I've never played, that's the goal, Mr. X. And then I'll go and cry myself to hopefully a long night's sleep, so I'm well rested for tomorrow's session. Also, any of you guys are nutrition experts? Can you tell me what I should get? Because I won't be able to leave the studio very much. So I should probably have all my nutrition needs in here. My plan was to get bananas, probably some Red Bull or some other energy drink for the later hours. And then, I don't know, salad, some stuff. Maybe I'll get some of these, whatever they're called, these fruit bars. We have all these fake health stores in Germany. I might get some of those. Sometimes I get them for chess games. I learned it from Peter Leko to use the good old Dr. Balke. And they're tasty. This is a line I studied once or twice. I always come to the conclusion it's good for black after d4, knight f3, knight c6. But I've never spent a lot of time on it. In general, white is trying to do something like bishop e2, short castle, queen e1, queen g3, and build up a very scary attack. Whenever you run it through a computer, the computer just laughs in white's face. But practice, we don't always have a computer. d4 I'm not sure about. Maybe I'm supposed to start with bishop c5 instead of dc3. Am I? I don't know. Possibly. But how bad can it be? I'm a pawn up. I have my pieces more or less developed. Put this bishop here just for funsies. It can go to b2. And yeah, I don't think my position can be too terrible here. Then again, who knows? Oranges? Nah, I don't like oranges. Too much work to peel them. I might get some orange juice, which really is just sugar. I don't think it's that healthy, but it's similar effects to the energy drinks. It might wake me up. So yeah, it's a good idea to bring some juice. I'm being asked if I've watched the movie The Gift. Well, Clash City Rockers has enough basketball talk. Ice hockey is so much better. Nah, you're in the wrong channel then, Clash City Rocker. There's never gonna be any ice hockey talk on this program. I'm sorry. NBA is the only sport I follow and have any interest in. Might come around one day, but I don't see it happening. I haven't seen the movie The Gift. Yeah, potato chips and soft ice. That sounds like a very good diet as well, Mr. I'm Not Worthy. But nah, can't do it. I don't only want to survive the 72 hours, I want to live on after that. Yeah, as for the game, I haven't paid much attention as to any of the games today, which you have surely noticed. I think I'm in good shape now after knight b4. He has to go knight e1. And greedy me might even want to take on a2, even though there's certainly other moves you could make a case for, like knight d5 or c5, opening the position up. But I do like my pawns too much. Or do I? Now, let's get out of greedy grabbing pawns mode. One time, play c5. Give a pawn up. Crazy as it may sound. Try to generate the thing they call initiative. Never really understood the concept. I do understand the pawn grabbing concept, but I'm being told that sometimes it's also important to activate your pieces and then whatever attack the enemy king or some stuff like that. Never really worked for me. I like to grab like 3-4 pawns and then exchange stuff until we're in an endgame where I'm 3-4 pawns up. Because here, see what happens? I gave up a pawn. He's already coming after me with everything he's got with the move bishop c4. And I no longer like my position. I guess I still like my position, but less than before my very deep pawn sacrifice. It's a tough game, this chess. Can't win. Actually, you can win, but you can also lose. That's about as deep as my insight's gonna get today. Really, the only thing I thought about was Spectre in today's show. Which is sad. So, I have a feeling it's been an unproportionate amount of whining, even for my standards, but it was backed up by a terrible play. So you can't blame me too much. I'll try to win this game. Knight b4. Attacking this guy, he should probably go bishop b3, when I could go knight c6, and his construction in the center might crumble a little bit. Another question I've been asking myself is why I speak English so much more slowly than German. Like I do a lot of videos in English and German. The English videos are always like 3-4 minutes longer, even though it's the same content. And yeah, if I watch myself, which I do all the time obviously, on tape, I do speak incredibly slowly when I speak English. Not sure why that is. It's not like I have to do all that much translating in my head. But yeah, the words just come out much more slowly. I don't know. We will never know. Mr. X sacrificed an exchange on b2. My bishop on b2. Got to him. Not sure he has enough for it, but I'm pretty sure I'll find a way to blunder lots of pieces shortly. Here it looks like I already have some options to blunder stuff, like knight e3, bishop f7. Nah, not gonna be able to do it. I'll try this move. Haven't really thought that one through either. Wow, I'm I'm weak today. It's the only word to describe my performance. Too old, too slow. Sometimes your brain just doesn't work. Takes with a rook, which is interesting. I was expecting bishop takes, but rook is also interesting. Bishop takes, I want to go queen a2 and try to make something happen along that second rank. Now I have to be a little careful not to get checkmated with some bishop h7 stuff, which doesn't seem to work just yet. But I have to be careful. These two bishops, very dangerous animals. Queen d3, can I take? I'll take and then think about it. No imminent mate. It's a bunch of checks, but I hope it's not enough. Nah, it doesn't look like it's enough. Very resilient, Mr. X También. También, see, really losing it. Mixing in Spanish words randomly. As well. Why would you resign here? Okay, he was in trouble on the clock, and maybe there was nothing yet. Knight g5, rook e1. No, I guess there's nothing. But it was still an interesting game. And Martinez says, by the way, this membership is totally free. I can't believe it. Do we have a trial premium membership thing? It's not totally free. It's like €9 per month, 9 or 10. I never keep track. I think it's like €10 per month. I think it's worth it. You can play incredibly strong grandmasters like myself in the Banter Blitz session. You can use all the amazing features of the site, like the tactics trainer, all the stuff that's hidden in the broadcast tool, the databases, the opening trees, all the good stuff. You can watch all the video series, a lot of stuff by even more qualified players than yours truly, Peter Svidler, Vishy Anand, Hu Yifan, and so on and so forth. I do think it is a good deal for all the guys who want to improve. Obviously, I work here, so I am biased, but I'm always curious why people ask me, non-premium members, which chess books should I read or how shall I improve? Because I feel here for €10 a month, there's a lot of stuff that can help you improve. It's probably not going to be me though, so go watch something else or come back tomorrow to see me suffer. If you haven't seen enough suffering today for the 72-hour Blitz, Banter Blitz Marathon, in case you're watching this on YouTube at a later date. It starts on November 12th, 6 p.m. Central European Time, and it ends on Sunday 15th, 6 or maybe 7 p.m. Central European Time if we're still alive. Thanks a lot for watching. See you guys tomorrow, and then I'll probably see a lot of you, or vice versa. Bye bye. Let's do this. Bye bye.